All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. I am joined today by the Mel Custard herself. We are going to be talking about the amazing transformation she had over the past 2 years. But more importantly, I think it's really good to zoom out here. But first, I picked out a good quote for Mel today because I think this really sums up her journey that she has personally been on.
I'm scared.
So I think you'll like it. I wish Snoop Dogg had more of a.
This is gonna be my next tattoo.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Perfect.
Her and I have been doing goal reviews together now every 3 months for the past 2 years, just over 2 years now. And if I could sum up all of our goal review conversations, which are not our typical 20 minutes that we offer, you throw a bucket of water on a rock and it doesn't do anything. You let a drop of water fall onto a rock every day and it creates a hole. So if I had to sum up every conversation that we've had, it is that. The tendency for people to have huge transformations, like Mel has, is I'm going to throw everything and anything at this thing abruptly, like that. And I need to see change like that. You've been at this brick by brick or drop by drop for 2 years, and it's created a massive hole, as the quote would say. But for you, a massive transformation. So we're going to dive into that a little bit. I thought that was a good quote to kind of really summarize all these fun things. So with that being said, what are we celebrating?
So over the last 2 years, I've lost 95 pounds.
Yes.
Which is kind of funny because I like you think as a woman, as like a girl or whatever, it's like thin, like whatever, and that's actually not what has made me happy. It's more like seeing muscle, seeing, watching like my fat go away, but then like maintaining muscle, those kind of things. I didn't really expect from the beginning. Like you just think, oh, I just want to lose weight and not really which weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, and to dive into the numbers a little bit more too, in the past 2 years, you've lost 95 pounds. You've only lost 2.7 pounds of skeletal muscle mass. I want to dive in deeper on that because our past 3 check-ins have had a different focus. And then in total, it's 28.2% body fat loss. So a massive transformation. And when a lot of people lose a lot of body weight, pounds, there's typically a massive loss of skeletal muscle mass, and you did a spectacular job of maintaining that. So let's dive in a little bit here. So take us back to our first goal review, which we didn't even step on the InBody. And for those that don't know, the InBody is a body composition exam, and it tells us our body weight, the amount of water we carry, our skeletal muscle mass, our body fat percentage. It tells us visceral fat, all those different things, our limb weight, all the fun things. Really big dive in.
Yeah.
So take us back to the first one when we didn't want to even step on the InBody. So what got us there, first of all, to want to do the goal review? And
so it was January 2024, and I was at a pretty high weight, and I knew I needed the goal review, but I was not ready for the scale yet. So I did come in for the goal review a little reluctantly, like, I know I need this. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. But I think when I walked in, I said, I'm not getting on the scale. I'm not doing it today. Like, and of course you were fine with it, like whatever. But I had also done like that January, and I had done it a couple times, like the dry January, like, you're done with the holidays and all the food and parties and all the things. There's just kind of a reset for yourself, which I had done, and I had actually kind of liked it. Like, it was just a good flush for, so I did dry January that January. Just kind of felt good. Was like, oh, I lost like about 5 pounds from just not drinking and kind of resetting myself. And then by the time April came around, I think I had lost around like 6-7 pounds or whatever. So I was like, okay, I think now I'm ready to get on the scale, like this goal review. So April 2024 I was like, okay, now this will be my start of like a journey. Which honestly, I'm 50 and I've always struggled with my weight. So there's always like, oh, lose 20 pounds here, gain 30 pounds, lose 30 pounds, gain 15 pounds. Is always kind of like a yo-yo thing. So I was like, okay, I need to get back on track. I was sitting over 200 pounds. Like I'm 5'2". Like that's a lot of weight on my body. Um, so doing it on my own, changing my diet, changing my activity, all of those things. But still like slow. So when I look at the numbers from that April to, it was like around August, I lost about 20 pounds, which I was feeling good. And, but then there's all of this like advertisements and all the things for like the GLP-1 and like how that, everybody's like doing it and whatever. And I'm like, maybe I'll try it. I claw my way through losing weight so much that maybe this tool will just help me with all the other things I'm doing. I'm working out. I'm working on my food and um
So real quick before we dive into that a little bit more, so up until this point when you started seeing the advertisements and start contemplating doing the GLP-1, what new habits did you put in place from our goal review in January to up to this point? So obviously you were consistently working out in the gym, doing strength and conditioning, all those fun things. And then what other things were you doing outside the gym leading up to that point?
Changing like, oh, here's another twist. That April, my husband went to the doctor for something totally unrelated and came home with a diabetes diagnosis.
Pre-diabetes.
Nope.
Oh, it was diabetes?
Full on diabetes. Like no actually what he went in for, they were like, we're not even gonna touch that until you get this under control because you are a diabetic. Like, nope, he was full on. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying to make changes, like you're gonna have to make changes. Let's get on this. So then we really focused on like the protein and cutting out carb lowering carbs, um, not drinking as much, like all of those things. So that's kind of where the beginning started, um, of just like the changes. Like, and then I would say I was probably in the gym. I mean, I was definitely Committed Club got a hold of me in the very beginning. So I'd always been pretty consistent, but I definitely would say that I upped my game there too, like coming like almost every day of the week versus like a 3 or 4 day of the week kind of thing.
Yeah. So in that time period leading up to the GLP-1s, right, your husband got the diagnosis of diabetes. You guys started cleaning up your diet. Obviously, you were already pretty consistent in the gym. Okay. And then you used a really good word, tool.
Yes.
So using and viewing GLP-1s as a tool. So let's dive into that a little bit.
Yeah. So I talked to my doctor about it and she agreed like, yeah, let's try this. She knows my workout, like what I had been doing up to that point and was supportive of it. So like she knew I wasn't just gonna like take this shot, go home, sit on the couch and wait for a weight to fall off of me. She knew like the other things I was doing and so she was supportive of like, yeah, let's give this a try. Um I did it a little different than like what a lot of people do. I started really slow, kept it really slow the whole time. And I think like when you and I would talk on these goal reviews after I started it, I was so worried about losing muscle. And in my mind, if that ever changed, if I ever started just becoming a gummy mess because of this, then it wouldn't have been worth it. So if I started losing a bunch of muscle, then what's the point? Then I'm just going to fall apart anyways. So keeping that muscle and seeing the in bodies through the process was huge for me. Like making sure like there was no like major loss.
Yeah, and that was a big thing that we kept talking about was when you were already doing a really good job of reevaluating your diet, but it was making sure that okay, every time we eat, like half of our plate is protein at minimum, and then every snack we have is some sort of protein.
Yep.
And I think what you said was really good. And this is this time is the most we've ever had of people at the gym that have been on GLP-1s or in the world, and that's one of the most advertised things. Yes. Whether you're on YouTube, on TV, or whatever it is, you see them everywhere. And I think one of the biggest things that people are forgetting is that it is a tool. It's one Yes. aspect of the piece to the puzzle, and it can be a catalyst that really helps for change, but it cannot be the primary driver without lifestyle changes. And I think leading up to this point, you did a fantastic job of that as well. And then let's talk about what you were doing during the winter and what you maintained there. Because I think that, like, a lot of people, like being in Minnesota, right? As you know, the pool queen over here, seasonal depression is a real thing. So it's very easy for us during the winter to like, okay, I'm going to worry about my health and my mental health as well in the summer, right? We're going to put off, we don't intentionally do it, but it just happens. And Mel did a really good job of how she stayed on track, especially this past winter, maintaining and actually seeing even better results. So dive into a little bit more what you were doing and how you helped your puppers as well. Yeah. Throughout this.
So at like about halfway through, about a year into just this whole process, you had said, I think like I want to say like three-quarters of or a quarter of the way through, you said you should add in walking, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I'll get right on that. Um, uh, and I didn't take it super serious. I think maybe I just started like casually, like, yeah, I'll go for a walk here and there or whatever. Um, and then about halfway through, I'm like, yeah, I think it's time. Like, I think I need to get in a routine. And so I started walking like 2 miles every day. And then I started getting a little faster, and I was like, okay, I can go like 2.5 miles. I was trying to keep everything under like 45 minutes to an hour. Was already in the gym for an hour in the morning, and so like spending more time and like carving out time after work, before dinner, like that kind of thing. So but then as I got faster, I was like, oh well, it's taking me less time. I can add more distance on. So now we're up to I do 3 miles every day after work. And that, like, it is crazy how you can see on my InBody, and I could pull up that one specifically where I started walking and then did the InBody the 3 months later, and all of my numbers like shot up. My metabolic rate, my fat loss went really high that month, and my muscle went really high that month, or that quarter.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was really cool to like see the change pay off. Like, okay, I added this walking in.
Yeah, and I think the reason it's mind-boggling for people of it's that simple of a thing can help is as we get older, life tends to get more sedentary. We are moving less. And a lot of people just think, oh, my metabolism is slowing down. I'm like, no, okay, look at how much you're moving throughout the day. And if you have a desk job,
Yes.
I mean, we have a member here who we just had this conversation with. He's a pilot and he has 14-hour flights. My joke to him was, "Can you order a standing desk?" And he's like, "Yeah, I wish. That would be nice. This is just something, right?" But like he may be the only one that has that excuse of he literally can't get up during his work shift and go for a walk or something like that or move more. But like for the majority of us, we have the ability to go for a 20-minute walk during the day, in the morning and at night, and that simple of a thing. Or for you, you do a 3-mile walk. If you have that capacity to be able to do that in one stint, that's even better. But people forget that working out for an hour in a group fitness class, or if you go to the gym, 1 hour of 24 is 4% of our day. So that 4% does not account for the other 96 to be sedentary. So for us to either be at a stand-up desk and to have a walking pad when we're at a stand-up desk and working. Maybe you hop on a bike and you have a desk on your bike. There are many different things that we can do in order to be more active outside the gym, especially. And I think you did a really good job of that. And you and I had these conversations during the winter. It's like, you've lived in Minnesota for how long?
My whole life.
Yeah, your whole life. So, yeah, and exactly. So that's why she has a pool and it's well heated. Um, but where I was going to go with that is you just bundled up.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that in the winter, you just bundle up and you go for your walk. Nothing should skip a beat. We're Minnesotans. If you've lived here for longer than 2 years, you should have a thick winter jacket, hat, and gloves, and be able to go for a walk in 20-degree weather.
Yeah.
So I think that was something that you did beautifully well over winter. Was you didn't just maintain that, you continued to drop, and then also our muscle mass stayed at a really good point because of that. So all right, so now we're in the winter here. So up to this point, including the walking, now what habits or lifestyle changes did you make now along with the GLP-1?
I mean, all the things, like the food, the drinking, the activity,
Mm-hmm.
and just being consistent, like just being like, I think in the past, I would lose like 20 or 30 pounds, feel good, and like, oh, I'm like, this is good. And then kind of settle back into like old ways. And I feel like this is the first time that I have, like, the 2 years really just settled into living different,
Mm-hmm.
and not just like, okay, this is a diet and I just have to do this for 6 months and then everything is going to be great.
Yeah.
Like, for the first time, it's like, Jason came down the other day. Um, I was working and he came down and he's like, what do you think about Burger King today? And I was like, are you crazy? I was like, no. Like, and he kind of laughed. I think he was like kind of serious or like whatever, but I was just like, what? Like, no. And because it's just not how I live anymore. Like, and I'm not saying like I'm never gonna have Burger King or something like that or whatever, but I was like, it's like lunch. I don't like, that's not where I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
like have a cheat, or if I'm gonna do something, we're gonna go out to dinner, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
I was
gonna
just
be
gonna
like,
say we can have some much better cheat
yeah,
meals if we're
exactly. It's
think
not
about
gonna
it
be,
this way. It's not gonna be Burger King.
but he kind of like, it was just kind of silly, and I was just like, what?
Oh, that's funny.
So we did not have Burger King that day. But I think those are the choices. Like, there are times where like, yeah, let's order a pizza. I need a pizza.
Yeah.
But it's it's a lot different than like ordering a pizza every Friday like we used to,
Mm-hmm.
or things like that. So it is really changing, like, how you live.
Yeah. So you still eat and drink the things that
Oh
you
yeah,
like,
yeah,
right? You didn't cut them out completely because you still want to enjoy life and enjoy things that you do
yeah.
like,
Well, I mean, I had a
right?
couple of mimosas at Becca's. I was feeling good.
There we go.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna not do those things, but then also the time between then and like the next time I make a bad choice is,
Mhm.
and I don't want to say bad, a different choice
Yeah.
is way further than like what it used to. Like, you make a off choice and then a couple days go by, you make another off choice.
Yeah.
Where now there's a lot more time in between those choices. Like,
Yeah. And I think like I'll speak on this real quick, is I think throughout this process there's been a lot of reprogramming
mhm,
for you in terms of, I like using the reprogramming, reframing, right? I like using, especially during goal reviews, is like, okay, you viewed like um something as bad or a bad choice, right? Let's reframe this
yeah,
as we are loosening up
yeah,
on this. But here's the thing, it's like going back to the quote that I started with, right? We're not just splashing a bucket, right? We're
yes,
going one drop at a time. And the best way to do one drop at a time is, okay, I can loosen up tonight. It's been 2 weeks since we've loosen up, awesome. I'm just going to get right back on it tomorrow.
Yes.
And how, for you, because that's been a lot of our work together, is these reframings and kind of a lot of the mental piece around this. So for you, my question is, what's been more of the biggest challenge throughout this process? And then also on that mental side, and maybe this is the same answer, like the the ability to not get off the wagon or loosen up completely and then fall back and gain the 20 pounds again, like you were referencing earlier.
Yeah.
Right. So what has been the hardest part? And then mentally, what has helped you the most? So two-parter.
I think the hardest part is like just staying. I think the amount of time it takes. So I think like when you look online or you see like these advertisements and whatever, like there's a lot of times where people like get on this, lose 30 pounds or whatever. But understanding that it's not quick. And when I like there's I'll go there's been some like Facebook groups that I've joined or whatever, and people are like, I started taking this and I've only lost 20 pounds. And it's like in a month, that's crazy. Like you really honestly shouldn't do that. And um I think just grasping that it's long, like
Mm-hmm.
it's a super long process. It's not, I didn't gain 95 pounds in a month. I'm not going to lose 95 pounds in a month, and just settling in and
Yeah.
keeping the boring consistent. I don't know.
So I had a thought process on this from our last conversation, and I need to make a reel about this. But the one thought I did have was, um, what you've done really well is the boring things.
Mm-hmm.
But when you stack the boring things on top of one another, it creates a sexy thing, because a lot of people want to do the sexy thing and think that's going to get results immediately. Like there's some things in the gym, let's just use exercises for example, right? There's some things that we're like doing a power clean, getting a pull up, right? And which we'll talk about that in a second, right? Those are sexy things, right? But what got us there?
Yeah.
To be able to do heavier weights or being able to do more body weight movements. So I think those are a lot of things that you stacked some really boring things, and now you got a really sexy result.
Yeah.
And that I think is one of the most important things to keep in mind when we're talking about this. But I do want to talk about that piece, that during this journey, Mel also got her first strict pull-up.
Yes. Yeah. That was fun.
So losing 95 pounds, gaining strength in a whole nother way. And if we look out at the past 9 months technically now, the past three check-ins.
Yeah.
So if we really look at this, her weight loss journey was what, 9 minus 24, so 15 months. So take 15 months. Her pounds per week was probably about a pound and a half is what she lost, which in the nutrition world, you're looking at like that's a pound is a sweet spot. 2 pounds per week is an aggressive. So Mel was kind of right in a good range and a good sweet spot for it. But more importantly, I wasn't concerned because we were maintaining muscle mass.
Yeah.
And during this, she was finding new strength in movement and other things. And overall, right, we were just talking about this, the mental piece of it. So I want you to explain to everyone, how did that feel going through this journey and then getting your first pull up? How did that piece feel?
That was really cool. Like, and it actually happened a month or two, like about a month and a half or so before Murph.
Mm-hmm.
So I
And then
was
how many did you do during
my
Murph?
plan for Murph was to do um like 25 pull-ups or something like that, and then I got into Murph and I did my 25, and I was like, okay, like I think I can do five more. And I was like, maybe I can do five more. And then I ended up doing every single pull up of Murph, that was what I was.
Mm-hmm.
My first one was great, but then being able to do every single one during my favorite workout was that was
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
And absolutely amazing. And how many pull-ups can you do in a row now?
Um,
Have you tried?
well, like strict?
Yeah, strict. Let's talk strict.
Oh, 9.
9 strict.
Yeah, I've done 9.
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
So I'm hoping to get 10 before I turn 52, which is next month. So we'll see.
I think we need to go down after this and just crank them out real quick. We do it the day before you turn 52.
Yeah.
Give you a couple more weeks to work on, but that's absolutely amazing. And when we sat down 3 goal review sessions ago, we were having this really good conversation of like, now is the time that we're trying to figure out where your body weight is at.
Yeah.
And or where your body wants to maintain its body weight at. And we kind of found that right around this 130, 128 seems to be like this homeostasis. And so our main focus since then is, one, not to be nervous coming in that the weight has gone up or the muscle mass has gone down or anything like that. It's, we come in, we're going to maintain what we've been doing. And I think that was the best part about this last goal review session is what did I tell you to do?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, wasn't that impactful then? All I got to say was just keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, which was super
It's simple.
Yeah, no, it was super simple. It was just keep doing what you're doing. But also, I want everyone that's listening to this is like, keep in mind, there wasn't that first month in January. You didn't do everything.
Right.
Right. You started with cutting out alcohol for dry January, and then nutrition was next, and then walking. Okay. And then we started using a GLP-1 as a tool. Okay. And also, I forgot to put in there, we were working out consistently.
Yeah. That
Okay.
increased for sure.
Yes. So, in Mel, for example, she's at the gym, what, 4 to 5 times a week?
6.
Or is it more now? 5 to 6?
6.
6 on the dot every day or every week.
Well, I mean 7 if you count Thursday.
Okay. She doubled up on Thursdays. And then,
that actually, so I was going to strength, I don't know, whenever, and then I kind of fell off, and then now I've been consistently back also on Thursdays to get that like second little, and I don't go super hard at strength, but
it's more of a social hour.
Yeah, I get to hang out with the other side of the gym, right? Because like I'm consistently morning, and now that I don't do a ton of like the other classes, and then I get to see people. I get to lift a little bit, and so it's kind of the best of both worlds.
It is. It's perfect.
So one thing we talked about though, like which kind of ties into like the beginning to the end, like if you like when you see these advertisements and Facebook stuff and whatever, and you see these extreme pictures of like before and after, those are extreme. But if like when I see people that I haven't seen in a long time, they're like, oh my God, like whatever. But if you looked at a picture every month for the last 2 years, and from that picture to the end picture, it's not as extreme, right? It's not as drastic because you just see that little changes over all of these pictures. If you take this, I think that's what people focus so much on online is the before and after, and forget about all of the stuff that is in the middle. And that's the important stuff, right? Like the changes and the
So what advice would you give to someone that is looking to go on this journey? And when you're seeing these advertisements, and again, we have a lot of people at the gym that have either just started on a GLP-1, have used one, or are currently using one. So what advice would you give, one, to someone that is on a GLP-1? Let's start there.
Well, like stay offline. I think there's some good stuff, but so much of it is extreme and false.
When you say online, are you talking like in terms of the advertisements or Facebook? And like, okay.
Advertisements, Instagram, like some people trying to like sell it. And it's like, it's not. it's a, like you said, it's a tool. Like, I think there's so much online that's like, take this and then this is going to happen. And that's not really how it works. Like, yeah, you take it, but then if you don't do all the other things to go along with it, then yeah, you lose. Like, in this process, if I would have lost even like 15 pounds of muscle, that's not good. Like, it, I'd be better off weighing more and maintaining all my muscle than weighing less and, of, breaking a hip. The other thing my doctor had me do was, there's a lot of studies with the GLP-1s that when people aren't doing the weightlifting, the strength training, and the nutrition with it, that you have a ton of like bone loss.
Mm-hmm.
So she had me do a DEXA scan just to kind of check, make sure I've never done one. So, one, my age, they recommend it, and two, she really wanted to get a baseline for like where I'm at as far as like what the GLP-1 is doing to my body, and my bones were solid. And I've seen a couple like commercials where they show like the bones and like just these like hollowy, like brittle bones, and then like a solid bone, and they're saying like, if you take these GLP-1s and you don't do all the other things that go along with it, like this is what your bones end up with. So she had me do that in January, and it was, I'm glad I now have the baseline, but then also just seeing that it didn't, like, me personally, it didn't affect my bones at all. So
yeah, and that's perfect.
But also because I'm doing all these other things, like,
yeah, and
it's just so important to like do all the other things, and this is just a little part of it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I'm going to talk about this from a coach's side and a gym owner side. Is the conversations that I get to be a part of is one, like, what is my opinion as a coach or as an owner on GLP-1s, or and now there's a new one coming up, which is peptides, and like there's gyms that are now now trying to get peptides in their gyms and GLP-1s, and they're being able to administrate it, and which is a whole nother legal thing that I don't even want to touch. But the conversations that I'm having is a lot of gym owners are very against them all. And you and I talked about this in your last goal review, and I'm like, here's my thing. I'm against them if you don't change your lifestyle.
Yes, I would totally agree with that.
I'm for them if it is utilized as a tool in a toolbox. There are so many things that Mel has done in the past 2 years to change her entire lifestyle. A GLP-1 was a tool or a catalyst to continue the process to get to where we are now. But working out 6 days a week, right? Being consistent, more consistent than when you even started this. Reducing alcohol, better diet, walking more, just daily movement. Okay. There's so many things that you did to add to that. So when I get asked that, that's my answer. And I've gotten to witness it with you and being able to do your goal review sessions, and it's been a really cool process to see you come from January of 24 to where we're at now. And I think it more importantly, the past 3 check-ins or the past 9 months is we're no longer in this weight loss anymore. We are in full, how much muscle can we either build or maintain? And the beauty of it is, and we just noticed this in your past 3 check-ins, is that your body fat percentage continues to go down because our weight stays the same and our muscle keeps growing.
Well, in this, my very last one, which I kind of knew, just I weigh myself at home or whatever, I was like, oh, I'm up a little bit. And when I came in, I'm up 0.8 pounds, but I'm also up.
I know you don't have your readers on over there. The 2 pounds.
2.2 pounds
2.2
of muscle.
Yes.
So, and I think of like, as I'm leaving the GLP-1 journey, it's scary because it's like, well, if I, like now that I'm going on the downward spiral, or I don't know, not spiral, downward, whatever trend. The thing is like, well, as soon as you go off it, you're going to gain all this weight back and like whatever. And so this 1 pound was kind of a big deal because I was like, well, shit, now I'm like going, my doses are going down and I gained a pound. Like, oh, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But then I come in and I'm like, but I really didn't gain a pound. I gained muscle. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so that pound, like in the past would like not wreck me, but like be very disappointing. And this time it was like, I'm more proud of the muscle gain than that I weigh an extra pound.
Yeah.
And that that was fun to see, like that gaining weight wasn't didn't make me cry. Like
Mm-hmm.
um so
Yeah, and you even told me before we got on the InBody, you were a little hesitant.
yeah.
And I feel like you've had some reservations every time we've stepped on the
Oh
InBody
god.
because
I think I always will. I don't
yeah.
think that's ever gonna like I'm not gonna be like, yes, I get to do the InBody today.
No,
Like,
no, I do not expect anyone to. But I think there was going back to your point of like staying offline, like there was a recent statistic that I saw, and I tried to pull up a little bit more data on it. I don't know how accurate this is, so I'll just start with that. But it was 70% of everyone that gets on a GLP-1 gains back more weight than when they started. I would also argue that's when you do anything else abruptly as well. So there's a lot of people that do whether it's a GLP-1 or you do like one of the fad diets, like the keto had
oh
that
yeah, yeah.
huge phase where people lost a shit ton of weight and then all of a sudden they gained it back more. And I mean, there we go. Right. So like I think
It's not maintainable, sustainable.
correct.
Like you can only eat so much freaking meat. Like
Yeah, no, and there's only one, you can only go so far when you push so fast, right? So it's like, at what point is your body just going to give, right? Versus, again, I really like this quote. It's these steady drops will make a hole in the rock, right? And that's exactly what you did. And I would encourage anyone that is starting a weight loss journey, whether you're going to use a GLP-1 or not, you need to start with small habits. And your first one was dry January.
Yeah.
Right. And then it was being more consistent in the gym. Right. Start small.
Yeah.
And now look at where you're at. And there's a term that I really like to use with these. It's daily non-negotiables, which I think you've done a really good job at. And if you miss one, it's not the end of the world because you have tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think that has been something very important of a mindset shift for you, is that way it's very easy for you to hop back on, even if you do get tempted with Burger King or pizza. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a deep dish pizza instead of Burger King. Thank you very much.
Like,
If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have deep dish pizza and then ice cream after, and then we're getting back on it tomorrow. Which I think is a really good place for you to be in. So what is one piece of advice, and we'll kind of wrap this up here. What is one piece of advice that you would give to anyone that is, it doesn't matter, like we were just talking about, going to start a GLP-1 or starting a weight loss journey? What's one piece of advice that you would give?
Be patient, because you didn't gain it in a month. You didn't gain it in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same. Like it creeps on and it'll creep off.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you make those changes, it'll do the same creep in the opposite way. But you just have to be patient and um, just keep your expectations matching what you're doing. Like if you're not doing the other things, like it's not going to happen.
And lower your expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not working out, you're not doing your daily steps, you're not watching your diet, you're not drinking water, you're not sleeping. Like we didn't even touch into, Mel and I had a good conversation on this last one about her sleep and stress levels, right? So like I want to make sure we touch on that before we even leave this, is those play a huge factor into all of
Mhm.
this. And that was something that we were talking about in terms of her building muscle now and maintaining weight. And so to her point, yeah, we need to make sure we go through this checklist before we say, I'm doing this one thing, so I should have these results. So I
Yeah.
think that is a beautiful
Yeah.
piece of advice to share with everyone. And my encouragement to everyone, whether you are part of core or part of a gym, have someone to help you be accountable.
Yeah. I think one thing you said was you might not hit your checklist, your everything on your checklist every single day.
No.
And that's okay. Like, but have the checklist and have multiple things. Like, if you get so hyper focused on one thing, it's just not enough. Like, you have to, like, your life has to be rounded. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if there's one thing that I want anyone to take away from this little podcast here is it starts small and build as you go.
yeah.
Do not start by doing, all right, tomorrow I'm starting at 5 a.m. I'm going to be doing these 5 things every single day. No, start with one.
Yeah. We talked about, I didn't start walking until halfway through this whole journey.
Yeah.
And I'm almost glad that I didn't, because I got to see a year before walking and a year after walking and like what that changed. And so just like adding things in, like,
Yeah.
as you need to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Mel, I'm glad that we could actually sit down and record this and be able to share your story. It's been an absolute pleasure for me to be able to coach you and walk you through this. But more importantly, I'm super proud of all the hard work that you put into this and the changes that you've made, not just for yourself, but also for the people around you and the example that you set. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We will catch you guys next time. Thank you, Mel.
Bye, guys.